Phil Mickelson has had a long issue with betting on sporting events. Lost a ton of money. Reputation taken a phenomenal hit. There was a new book that's just about to be released. It's written by one of his longtime friends, and that becomes the issue. Billy Walters. Billy Walters is a gambler, a very successful sports gambler who got into a relationship with Phil Mickelson, and Mickelson's got, quote, a gambling addiction. Well, the quotes in the book that came out Thursday at 12 noon from Billy Walters, that Phil Mickelson has wagered $1 billion over the course of his entire career.
Wow.
As a pro golfer.
Wow.
That's about a 14-year span. That he lost $100 million of his wealth gambling over these many years. Federal records that are encompassed in this book that Billy Walters has put out show that he transferred huge amounts of money to gambling companies, including a $3 million payment to a bettor in Detroit. Guy won $96 million in his career, and it's all gone because of his gambling debts.
Oh, wow.
He, of course, got dragged into insider trading a couple of years ago and got caught. Billy Walters gave him insider trader information. Phil had to repay over $900,000 of illegal gains. Now, oddly enough, he did not get charged because he turned around and paid it back within 2 days, but he did not get charged. And, of course, he got $200 million from LIV to go be part of Saudi Arabia. They've indicated that he made more than 7,200 bets in a 3-year span, and that he, in one day, he bet 42 times. He bets on NFL games, NBA games, baseball games. There's also a report that Phil Mickelson tried to place a $400,000 bet on a Ryder Cup that he played in.
Oh, wow.
I guess the big issue I have with this, he's got a sickness. He's got an addiction, obviously. He says he went through rehab and he no longer bets. Who knows? Big problem I have is PGA had to be aware of some of this. They let him just continue to play and play and play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, PGA has disciplined guys like Dustin Johnson and others for things like domestic abuse or cocaine. They had no knowledge that Phil Mickelson had this depth of gambling addiction. It's a sad story because for the longest period of time, Phil Mickelson was the fans' man.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll ask people on Fans Forum, do you view Phil Mickelson differently now just because of all the junk that he did with LIV and all the things that he said and what he just said, and now what's just come out in this book, which is going to be released in the next week or so? And you can argue, well, Billy Walters, who's he? They sent his ass to prison for 5 years for insider trading, but the then President Trump pardoned him. Did no wrong, pardoned him. So that's where we are with Phil Mickelson. Thoughts?
Everyone loves Lefty, right? I mean, it's been like that forever, and it's surprising that he's gotten into this mess. But you know what? Gambling is a pretty serious addiction, and at the same time, it's getting more and more involved in sports.
Yes.
Like one time I was out with one of my buddies, and we were up in Tahoe, and he whipped out his phone, and he had like an app that a bookie gave him. And so he could place online bets all throughout the day. I mean, I guess that's how Mickelson probably did 42 bets in one day. But now you can bet on the game as it's in progress. Like, in the second or the third quarter of an NBA game, the point spreads change, the odds change, and you can do sort of real-time betting. So this whole thing has become more sophisticated. And if you're walking around with this app on your phone, then yeah, I could see how that would be addictive, just like social media.
It's tough. Do you view Phil Mickelson the same now as you did before?
Oh, no. I mean, he's a different guy, in terms of the brand image that we always had of Phil. But if he only earned, like, roughly speaking, $100 million, only $100 million in his career, but now he's bet over $1 billion or nearly $1 billion.
He lost $100 million.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah. Now he's got all of his endorsements and his sponsorships, but that's probably why he wound up turning his back on his PGA Tour card to take another payday, because he probably got all these money issues. It's a sad commentary. It's a
Yeah.
horribly sad commentary. It is a sickness. You know, I wouldn't condemn him if he had cancer. I guess I can't condemn him for his addiction if he got help and if he's beyond that. But this book is sordid. Oh,
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you said, maybe this explains why he went to LIV and took the money, because maybe he had to, because he had no other options.
on we go.